for Google Workspace, which is technically 20 bucks a month that you would pay if you're not with Fox and Roach. But everything we're talking about is available for the free stuff today. But we're doing a whole Gemini launch on September 9th. Eileen, thank you for posting that in the chat. But there are people here from non-Fox Roach agents. So everything I cover is available for all of you today. Okay. So if you recall early on with our sessions, we covered how ChatGPT end of March did a major image update um, that you could create pencil sketches. We talked about that. You could do some little bit of, it doesn't replace a true image editor. You could virtually stage a room, move stuff around. But what ChatGPT really struggle with, even today, at the time of this session on August 29th, 2025, you got to time mark everything. It struggles to maintain consistency if you upload an image and you're trying to make edits to just certain pieces of it. Okay. So what I'm going to show you today is, in my mind, the best image generator at the time of this session. And it comes from Google's Gemini. And they call it Nano Banana is the internal code name. And Nano Banana is bananas. I'm going to show you that here shortly. But it is technically called Gemini 2.5 Flash Image. So there's two ways you can access this. We'll dive into AI agents right after that. I just needed to share this with you because I don't know when you're going to find out about that, or unless you read stuff and keep up with it. So there's two ways you can access the Gemini new image generator, okay, Nano Banana. The best way is through the Gemini app, okay, that I'm going to share with you on screen. There's also a website you can go to and access it as well. And all you need is a free Google account, okay? Let me kind of give a quick demo, and it's in the homework assignment, so no worries there. It's all there, so you can just follow along here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to close out my stuff, and I want to show you my phone, okay? Hopefully that is visible, okay? All right. Somebody post in the chat that you can actually see my phone. All right, okay. Perfect, thank you, Ruby. One's good, we got it, thank you. Okay, so if you were to see, I have a folder for AI apps, okay? So if I were to go, that's the Gemini app. It's available on iPhone and Android. If you don't have it, download it, and all you need is a free Google account. So click it. So the way you initiate the new Nano Banana image creator is, if I were to click this button here, you see several things, okay? And I want to focus on image. I clicked image. And then anything I do, describe a new image or upload an existing image, okay? As an example, I'm going to do this live so you can kind of see, and I'll show you, in the interest of time, I'll show you what I've done with it in my chat threads, okay? So you simply upload an image and you can make modifications to it, okay? So I did something. Let me walk you through different things I did that will give you ideas, okay? One of the things I struggled with, okay, so this is a real headshot, by the way, right? A human took this headshot. I love this headshot. But what if I want to change just the blazer color and the shirt? Just say I want to mix the combo. ChatGPT struggles with it because it changes my face as well, okay? Can't keep the instructions down. And not now, though, Nano Banana. So I said, change my blazer color. So it says, how about a deep navy blue blazer color? Blazer. I think it would complement your pink. I think it would do. So here it is. Look at that. So it kept my face intact and just changed other stuff. So imagine if you love a headshot, you don't need to, we did a whole thing on headshots, remember? That was from selfies and things like that. But if you have a really good headshot you love, that is natural, changing the fabric, clothing, game changer, okay? Easy. This is one of your homework assignments to do this, okay? And you can do it right. I did it right from my phone, okay? You can do it from the website, Web2. I'm going to show you that. So the next thing I said was, okay, give me another option. Here we go. Look at this charcoal. Love it. right? You can keep playing with it. You can remove things. I think I even said, now change the shirt and blazer to a different combo. Light blue shirt. Look at this, right? The face is the exact face. It hasn't messed with the face. And that's what I love about this. It maintains consistency from picture to picture based on your ask. Okay. Now, it may not be perfect all the time. Great. Another option, crisp white. Look at, I mean, you could screw with it all over the place, right? Just look at slightly brighter shirt. Okay, lavender on that. Look at this. And after a while, it sort of forgot who I was. It came up with this. So look, it's not perfect, but so I said, how about a maroon shirt with a beige blazer? I said, I had to give my picture again, maroon shirt with a complete color. Boom, right? I mean, just look at that kind of stuff, right? So that's the first one. Okay. So go do that for your professional picture, play with it. I think you'll be surprised. The next one I want to show you is a pencil sketch. We talked about this early on. You could clearly do it. That's possible. Nothing new there, but I'm just showing you that you can do this in Nano Banana now. Let's go now to brighten the room lighting. Okay. So if you want to kind of do a little bit of staging, so I gave it a little bit of a darker picture. I said, improve the lighting a little bit. It just did a little bit more. I said, do a bit more. So daylight, simple. These are simple prompts. You don't need to have complex prompts. That's what I love about Nano Banana. I'm getting used to that name too, by the way. But is simple English text that would get you really what you want to do. So you can put an empty room, paint the walls, you can do all of that kind of stuff, just going back and forth on a free Gemini Google plan. Okay. Think of how far we've come, folks. Where will we be a year from now with image editing? Okay. Okay. Let me show you a couple other things I did with this. I took, keep going. Let me show you that. Okay. I kind of like this. Then I said, okay, I want to move these two frames, remove one and center one. So this is like a little bit of an edit. Did it. Okay. So the concept of how you want to edit all that stuff is great. The other thing I just kind of played around with today was put me in a podcast studio with I said shoot, but I meant to say sure. So it put me there, exactly same picture, slightly different, obviously the sitting down, but the face, if you zoom in, it is the exact same one, no change. ChatGPT would struggle with this. So you can sort of even remove people. If somebody's come into your picture, photo bombed you, you can remove them now. Okay. So stuff like that, you could do edit pictures, create pictures. So Nano Banana is bananas. Play with it. And let's go now let me share with you really quickly where you'd go for the website of this. Okay. So if you say, I want to do it on a computer, you want to go to aistudio.google.com, and it's in your homework. Okay. So if you want to do it there, you go there, give it the prompt here. Make sure you've selected this on the right. If you have options, select 2.5 flash image preview, and boom, it will create what you want to create. And I've done a few here, but most of my stuff was on mobile. That's the beauty of it. It's so easy to do, and you can go there. So two ways to access it. Gemini app on your phone, select the image, and then upload from your phone and play with it. Or go to aistudio.google.com and make sure you select this, and voila, you are accessing the new Nano Banana image generator, the best on the market, for free. Okay. Now, what I want to do is kind of I'm going to do a little presentation and then go to AI agents live and kind of demonstrate it. And that's part of your homework, and we'll be done. Okay. So let me start, and I want to do a little presentation because I think we're in session 12, and I think it's important. Hopefully you should be, can somebody comment that you can see my slide here? Yes. Stop the share. Yes, thank you. Okay, I'm going to go just to the PowerPoint so you can actually see the deck and not the other stuff that's paraphernalia. Okay, so here we go. This is important, folks. So I believe, and I've believed for a while, that 2025 is going to be suppuration season. Why? From people that are going to leverage AI to the extent that they get the productivity enhancement that I've been talking about, to people that are just using it as a replacement for Google, just some minor writing, which is where everybody begins. But I don't want you to stay there. You have made the commitment to be on this session, to take this journey. Doesn't mean you're an expert today. Nobody really is. We're on our own journeys, right? But just get better every day. I'm going to give you a roadmap, but AI agents, and I'll tell you what they are, what they're not, and then we'll do a live demo and we'll be done. So if you think about where the internet was, right? Think about all these things. They built the infrastructure. We had websites, Amazon, then social media came, and everything is in the cloud, Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services Cloud. We have mobile apps, and then Web3. That's the internet build out. Let's look at where we are with the intelligence build out. Okay. Where are we on this journey? This stuff, machine learning, Zestimate, property stuff, all of that stuff has been around. Oops, sorry. All that stuff has been around for a little while. Perception, natural language processing, generative AI. This was the first introduction, was November 2022. Then came reasoning, and we did a little bit of reasoning. Maybe we'll do a whole session on reasoning models, which is they think before they respond. Think of the deep research one we did. It doesn't just get stuff on the internet. It thinks through and takes directional things to give you the better output. That is a reasoning AI. We are now in agentic AI, and I'm going to explain what it is, and you will have a better understanding than 99% of people that have not invested the time today to understand where that's headed and how it can be a huge help in taking stuff off your plate and having you focus more on the meaningful, giving the mundane to AI. And then eventually the physical AI, which is the humanoid robots, they're coming. I'm not going to spend any time on that. But then we get to artificial generative. So that's sort of the journey. And I believe we're going to see more advancements in innovation in the next 5 years. We're already on that journey a little bit, probably 1 year in. More advanced in the next 5 years than we've seen in the last 50. That's the pace of innovation. Now, our goal is not necessarily to keep up. Our goal is to learn at our pace, get better, so you have meaningful enhancements to your business that AI can help you with. We all are up there. We got no choice. We got to surf down there and actually catch the AI wave. A lot of people are going to fall, get drowned. Okay, I just feel you will ride the wave because you're investing time, a little bit, few minutes every day. I'm going to give you a little direction in terms of how that's where we are, folks, today. This whole year, we've been at that cusp, and look at the growth, human progress. It is going to really catapult, and you see all the news, everything's happening. But AI agents are just part of that. So if you think of the industrial revolution, there's been 4 stages of that. Steam engines, electric, information age for better part of 2-3 decades. And now we're in the cognitive revolution, or we are in the intelligence age. Everybody's got it. Not everybody knows how to use it effectively. Okay, so that's really the journey of being an AI skilled agent. And that's really where we're headed. Okay, so where's AI today, future and next steps, and we'll get into the demos. So if you look at the term generative AI, if you all recall, when you first started using AI, like your first experience of it, it was primarily you put in text and you got text. Even today, majority of people's use has been nothing wrong with it, because we need to write an email. We need to organize thoughts around certain things. It's all text to text. Today, and you already know this, but we saw Nano Banana. What is that? Text to image. Okay. Text to video. We'll do a whole session on video. Text to sound. Our Mastermind song came from text. So my point is, you can go from any one of the ones on the left to any ones on the right that can do question answering, summarization, translation. That's what's possible with generative AI today. Okay. Now, I'm giving you this foundation before I introduce you to AI agents, what they are, right? What So today now AI generates all these things, right? Answers, summaries, images, videos, reports, websites, designs, all of it. This is in the works. It's not publicly available, but it's emerging. I am super excited that I believe AI will solve our chronic illnesses to a much greater degree than medical professionals ever have because protein structures, all of that stuff, it's just a lot of data crunching that needs to happen. Pharma's emerging. And then soon you're going to have a customized things that happen right around your every protein intake, structures, all of that stuff going to be personalized. So there's a lot going to happen here that you may not even know that's AI. So this is the journey we're on. But how do you bring that back to real estate and focus on what matters to you today with an eye towards the future, right? Okay. Agents, not real estate agents. These are AI agents today are more like tools. That's what the perception is, tools. They have a little bit of memory. For the most part, ChatGPT's got remembers all the chat conversations, has memory. It also can plan based on events that happen to do certain things with minimal human input. And the humanoid stuff that is coming down the pike, they say by 2030, will be able to censor, can sense things around you, the physical AI that we talked about, which I think will revolutionize the construction industry. The prediction is there will be 10 billion humanoid robots in the world, more than humans, to help us do things that we, don't want to do or not good at doing. Okay. Like my wife and I would sign up for a humanoid robot that would clean our yard, clean snow, like do all that stuff outside the house, right? So that stuff is coming. But let's tackle today what AI agents can help with, okay? Personal assistant, they can do research, they can plan your travel. All of these things are possible today, okay? What we're going to focus on is introducing you to the base level of AI agents so you can see, have your unlock moments. I can see maybe a year from now how I can have more digital workers than human workers because I can't afford to hire 10 humans. Okay. Not that, like, if I wanted to have 10 people I want to hire, that's a lot of money. But I could hire AI agents to do a specific thing. So you'll have more digital workers than human workers. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's going to augment what we can do and what we really could not do in the now we could do in the future. So 3 reasons why you embrace AI agents and AI in general is to offload things that are mundane, right? Have it do the mundane so you do more of the meaningful. Elevate. What do I mean by that? You want to leverage AI to actually elevate your game, do better output than what you were able to do, even if you didn't invest the time, right? Consumers are using AI. They know what to expect. So as agents and real estate professionals, we got to elevate, extend digital workers. If you have a team of 3 people, I believe we will see real estate teams. Let's just say there's a team of 5 that does $50 million production. They will be able to do 100 million with the same 5. Not because they're superhuman. They've just mastered AI and have AI agents do certain things so they can scale and extend their business. That's where this is headed, you know? So it's important. So digital workers, important. They're coming to the workforce, okay? They're coming as virtual assistants for specific things. We're already starting to see it. You go to chat and you ask it a question, it does stuff. But what if it could do things based on certain input and it can apply a bit of reasoning within, again, a human is needed to orchestrate these things. They just don't do stuff on their own without input. So there's a lot of human in the loop, which I've always been talking about. Nothing happens without a human in the loop, but you can do a lot more than you ever was possible before, right? So your next coworker might be a machine. Yeah. So here's the workforce of tomorrow, folks. And I want to share where you would end up. And I'm going to focus on the middle part today, digital workers. But there are certain skills that you as real estate agents possess that you will amplify because of embracing AI. Digital workers, great. Robot workers, great. But where does the human worker fit in the scheme of where we're going with the workforce. Okay. So let me show you this. This is important. What could a robot do? All the mundane stuff, repetition, precision. It can run constantly cleaning the yard. I mean, you get tired of it, you get bored of it, unless you love it. But the strength, stamina, repetition, precision. I believe robots will revolutionize construction. Construction costs will go down, in my opinion. That's where we're headed. But that's what they're good at. What are agents good at? Which is what we're going to dig in today, right after this. I'm going to go live. They can do research, they can do brainstorming, they can create content, summarize, create design, sense, predict, optimize, all of that stuff. And this is where you come in. So if I was teaching my kids, I have a daughter at Florida State, soft into junior year. Can't even imagine what the world will look like 2 years from now with AI. If I were to say, what skills should I focus on to maximize and ride that wave? Here are the skills, folks. Emotional intelligence, critical thinking, trust, empathy, all of these things. I call this the last mile in building phenomenal human relationships. This is what you need to focus on: leadership, humanity, culture, vision, all of the things that AI just can't do. Okay, it just can't do that. Most of it just will never do. Okay, maybe critical thinking it can, but it doesn't know the context, the human element. So focus your skill set on that and then master everything else to leave that to AI and you be in the loop. So that's the vision I believe will kind of, we're already seeing it unfold. Okay, so let's talk about, sometimes people think automation is AI agents. It's not. So let me give this definition, last slide before I go live. Okay. So let's say you want to book a trip, right? Think of automation. You click a button, you go to Google Flights, it books your usual flight to New York City at 7 a.m. And let's say you want to go to New York City at 7 a.m. and just click a button. So it does a task and it doesn't think much about the task because it's the rules are set. That's an automation. It's not AI, really. Now it looks like AI workflow. You type in, book me a flight to New York City tomorrow. So what it does, it finds options, because there's several flights to New York City, as an example, lets you pick which one you want to go on, and then completes the booking. Okay, that's a little bit of AI, but workflow. Now let's look at what an agent would do if you gave it the same command. Book me a flight to New York City tomorrow. It notices on your calendar you got a client meeting in New York City, checks the weather and delays, books a later flight than 7 a.m., reserves a hotel, blocks your calendar, and orders your preferred car service without being told. Now, some of it you can still say, I still need to know, and that's what the agent would do. But if all of those things are things you do as a human that otherwise you would invest time in, that's where AI agents are going, where you give it a task, it applies its knowledge based on what we provided it, and it makes decisions autonomously with minimal or no human input based on the task. Those are a fundamental definition of AI agents. And we're going to see it live, okay? And in your homework, you're going to go build one. And the beauty of it is, just to test this, they're probably a few months away from actually applying it, but I'll show you how you can start to use it and kind of go there, okay? Okay, let me stop the share and kind of see where, so I could give cold list. Okay, so go Knowles. Yeah, go Knowles. Okay. All right, so let me go back to my browser. So the two exercises I have in your, I got way too many screens open, pardon me. Okay, all right. Okay, so two exercises are in your homework assignment. Don't make a note of anything, just kind of follow along and we'll see, okay? The first one is there's several AI agent platforms that are available, okay? And people are building stuff. You'll find out more as we progress in our mastermind. We'll include stuff to you. So the first one I want to kind of have you use, it's free for the test. is Manus, MANUS.ai. They call it .im, but I have the link in the show notes. So you can create your own account. The link is there. Click that and do it. So what I gave it was, here's what I gave it. Here's an agent, right? I want you to get comfortable. This session is about getting comfortable with AI agents to know the potential of where we're going. So as you get comfortable, you'll do more with it. So what I gave it was, the prompt was, compare top 10 cities in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania for real estate trends, average sale price, home for sale, home appreciation in schools. Then create a presentation to present this to consumers considering purchasing a home. Now, what this will do is it says, understood, I'll gather all the data. It just went and got all the data. It is sort of triggered by your command. And the command can be an email, a lead you get. And that's where agents will start to do things. It's like, book my flight to New York City tomorrow. It does things based on your guidance, right? But it does a lot of things autonomously. So here's an example, right? It basically did all this. And maybe 15 minutes later, it came up with a whole bunch of stuff. And it created, this is more than deep research. And here's why. Deep research is a good example, basic example of AI agents. But Manus takes it one step further. Why? Because it does the research if it needs, the task needs the research, but it also creates a presentation deck. And it can also, if you build it properly, you can also email it to somebody. All those things are part of the AI agent flow, right? So here we go. So it started it started creating a bunch of stuff here, obviously. And if I go through it, look at the thinking it did, searching Upper Providence, adding context, it just, all of the thinking, you can see what it did. I mean, this is the kind of stuff. I would consider this as my market research AI agent, right? Something like that. And these will be easier and easier to use, by the way. Okay, but in this test, I gave you, okay, so it's sort of outlined. Here, the slide outline, it says Introduction to Montgomery County, research methodology, home price comparison, appreciation, housing inventory. And it gave me a nice little presentation deck here. I'm not going to go through it, but you get the idea. So this is the first example I want to show you. I want to switch to a different example, but this is an example of an AI agent that does multiple things based on one trigger or a human input. Okay. Okay. The next one I want to show you, and everything I'm showing you is free. You go to Manus, and the link is in the homework assignment. Okay. You can create it. The next one is a Google tool. Okay. And it's called opal.withgoogle.com. It's all in the homework, folks. So don't have to remember the links. See, I put all the links here. Manus link is there. Opal link is there. Let me show you what this does, okay? And we'll build one live here so you can kind of see how it works. So I've built a few apps, AI agents that do certain things based on what I want to get done, okay? With some input, obviously, right? They don't go off into ether and kind of do things, okay? So as an example, what we want to build is maybe, what if we build, here's what we're going to build. And the beauty of building it is you just ask it, here's what I want it to do, and it will build it for you. So we're going to do that today. And what I'm going to do is, I'll do what's in your homework assignment. Okay, so you can kind of follow along. I'm going to go to your homework assignment and copy the prompt that I gave you guys so you can do the same thing. So what I want to do is build an agent that I'm going to give it an article link. Let's say it's a Keeping Current Matters link. And I wanted to create 2 to 3 Instagram posts with images. That's the agent, okay? And here's the simple command I've given it, folks. Again, this is free. In any Google account, you have it. You have Opal. You can build apps, agents on a dime. User input will be an article URL. So I'm going to give it a link, okay? And we're going to do this live. You'll see as it gets built. And the AI agent will review the article for highlights and use social media best practices to generate 2 unique social media posts for Instagram. You can say LinkedIn, Facebook, doesn't matter. That includes a unique image for each and show the two key highlights. Simple. Enter. Now watch it sort of in front of us. It's going to build the agent. Let's hope it kicks off here. Because I did build this already. So anyway, power of a live demo, eh? There we go. Okay. It's already built it. Okay. So what it's doing is, let me kind of zoom in on this. So I guess it was building it when it was spinning the wheels. So here's what it did. Simple prompt. And here's what it, if I can move this over to the, okay. Article URL, enter the article URL. We're going to test this live so you can see how it works. Fetch the article content. You don't need to know all this, but it's sometimes good to know the flow, what we told it to do and what it built. Extract highlights, generate image descriptions, generate Instagram images, format social media posts, generate social media posts. So that's the flow, okay? Now watch this. You can test it right here. I'm going to hit start. So enter the article URL for analysis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply go to our friends Keeping Current Matters and David Childers. He's got a good blog, right? So I'm going to pick that article. You can pick any news article. History shows the housing market always recovers. I'm just going to pick that. You know, it doesn't matter. You get the idea. Hopefully there's enough highlights in the article, right? Because we've asked it to do, I copied the article. And here's my thing. And I'm going to simply paste the link, folks. That's it. Now it's fetching. Look here, it put a brown. That means it's working on this step right here. Fetch article content. Once it's done that, the brown box is going to go to this. And you will see it progress. And if it screws up and it didn't do well, you can simply suggest an edit and it will adjust these boxes. So there it is. Now it's extracting highlights and summarize for posts. It's doing that. So you're seeing the steps of what it's doing. Not that you need to pay attention to it, but this is fascinating first time when you build it. Generate image descriptions. That's the box now. Now it's generating Instagram images. Format social media posts is next. There we go. And generate social media posts is the final output. So once it generates it, you will see the output here. You can test, make sure it's good. And then now you have the framework of a simple AI agent that takes a link to what we built. And I'll show you a few I've built for different things that I use it for my podcast, a whole bunch of stuff. Now it's generating the posts. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Okay. Looks like it did not do a good enough job of the image yet, but feels like housing market is a puzzle right now. Okay, so if I were to say, let's try this. Okay, so it did not do the images. Make sure you can, again, interact with it, just like English, right? Make sure when you generate the final output posts, they have a unique image for each. The first, I'm just going to tell it, first test work for post copy, but not images, which is what I'm reporting back to it. Okay, so just kind of give it, and it will try to tweak the thing, and then we can test again, and you will start to see how it would generate things for you're literally in less than 5 minutes. We built a basic AI agent that does what we just described it to do. And it can be anything, right? Now, these things are going to get simpler and simpler and simpler, okay? So as that does it, I want to go back out to, let me kind of open up my Opal. All right, so it did, that's the agent we just built. So let me show you another one I built. Similar stuff, Social Spark. It gives it an own name. You can rename it obviously up here. So same thing. Okay, so I'm going to actually say start. I'm going to give it, let's see what this one does. Okay, get article content, generate Instagram posts. And I've done one for take a YouTube video, give me the, summarize this for a LinkedIn article. I mean, you could do anything you'd want to do here. Can you use multiple AI tools to do it? Yes. but can you just build a little AI agent like that? This is the scope and power of things that are coming down the pike, and some of them are already here. So let's see the output on this one, and I'll show you a few others, and we'll see if you all have any questions around any of this stuff, and we'll call it a day. All right, generate post images. This one, we gave it the same URL. I built this agent very similar to the previous one that we built live. And let's see what this one produces here. Okay. It should produce images. There we go. Look at this. Real estate market. That's the image. Feeling discouraged by the housing market? History offers a powerful reminder. Slowdowns are temporary. Gives it a little. Okay, it looked like it picked the same image. Again, you can tweak it, say, I need distinct different images. It probably adjust itself. It created 3 posts. This one was created for 3. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so watch this now. I also built a YouTube to social agent. Okay, here's one I built just recently. Whenever I record a podcast, I have a transcript. Okay, again, sky's the limit in terms of your imagination is the only limitation you have. So I have a transcript. And this one says, give me the transcript. I will extract the content and give you social posts to promote the podcast. That's what this is. So I'll show you what this is. So I can upload the transcript, upload from my device. And I have one of the transcripts here, episode 92. Let me just kind of find one. It's in the future, by the way. This is a future episode, but you get the idea. So there it is. It's on a text file. That's the input. And now it's extracting the content from the file. So you can give it a Word doc, Google Doc, video, whatever you've built the agent for. But this is built for, I will give you a transcript, which as soon as I record, I have a raw transcript of whatever people said. Hello, greetings, all that stuff is there. And it's going to extract the stuff, and then it's going to generate image descriptions, generate social media images, and then generate the posts. Okay, so just kind of let's walk through this, and we'll stop after this. But you get the idea. We talked about Manus for research. I mean, Manus is another AI agent platform, and Opal with Google, free. You can build things based on your workflows, and that's the power of doing multiple things for what you want to build. You can also, this is a little advanced. What if you wanted it to? As this is generating. What if you wanted it, if you're building a social post agent, what if you wanted it to have as a context and background, a deep research? Look at this. Let's see what it created. Think AI avatars. I spoke to AI avatars on this episode, by the way. It means entirely hands-off video production. Pick that out. When it comes to leveraging AI, look, it gave me 3 posts. I may not use all 3, but you get the idea. How long would it have taken me to get here versus having an agent that's specific for that? That's the power of where we're headed. Okay. So social media. So the other thing you can add, by the way, is you can add assets. Where is this helpful? So let's say you're building something for social media. What if you want to give it context? Here are the top 200 viral posts from Instagram in real estate. You can do a deep research project on that, right? It'll spit out a 30-page document. Here are the things you want to keep in mind when you want to create a really good social media post. You can add it as an asset. You can tell this agent of yours, and you can call your agent, give it names, right? Pod promo. You can have the agent refer to the asset so the output is consistent with the posts that can go viral based on your research. So you can add assets. So that's, again, there's so many things you could do here, but today was an introduction to what I believe is the future of how we work, right? Embracing AI and AI agents, digital workers in your workforce that can do things based on certain triggers. So hopefully this sort of is a little bit of an unlock of what's possible. Some of this is a little basic today in terms of what's possible with agents. There's a lot more things that are possible. Again, we're doing this now. We'll probably pick this up again in the fall and do another episode on AI agents as things evolve. But let me stop the share. Social Spark Stacy is just the name of my agent. Um, and that's it. Fred, so the way, again, it's all in your coaching of your agent. Okay. I'm just answering, looking at the questions. Just post your questions in the chat. Um, you could end up in New Mexico. But again, it's the coaching of the AI agents and airport codes, all that stuff. Again, that's just an example of maybe that AI agent says, come up with a personalized itinerary and send it to me, and I can click approve, and then you can go book. So again, human always in the loop. Um, let's see. Okay. Um, all right. So let me kind of finish up with I would consider this session 12. Next one, I'm not decided what September. So the next two dates for September are September 11th and September 25th. I know Summit, you just can't find. I mean, there's just too many dates that are conflicts that I couldn't move. I couldn't do September 4th because I'm traveling. So 11th, again, they're all recorded so you can get it. 11th and 25th are September, and then we'll announce October because there's a lot of dates for presentations and stuff like that. But um, I would suggest if you need to watch it again, watch this again. But the best way, folks, for you to internalize the two things I shared with you today, AI images with Nano Banana, Google, go try it with your profile picture. Go try it with a home picture, interior shot. That's the only way you internalize this stuff. And you say, okay, it's working here, it's not working here, it's going to get better over time, but internalize that. Then homework. Carol, for this, you do not, if you're an agent, you will get access to Gemini for your Foxroach account September 9th, but you can use anything I've talked about on a personal account effective immediately. And after September 9th, you could use it in both, it doesn't matter. So we're doing a whole session on September 9th just for Gemini for work. So make sure you sign up for that webinar for Fox and Roach. The next question is, next thing I talked about is AI agents. Go build one with Opal, even if it is a basic one. It's in the homework assignment. Go build that, test it, play with it. It's an unlock moment for you. You'll know. And the only reason difference between all of you and many of you and me is that I've just had way too many unlock light bulb moments. And as you're on this journey, doesn't mean you're going to use AI agents tomorrow. But if you start to know what's possible, you will start to see, maybe I can apply it there. Okay. It is a minute after what I planned. So 12:46. Okay. So let me see Maria Handel. If I'm repeating the question, that was, is there AI within our database that we can create agents like scan my database, send an email? That kind of stuff, I just want you to know, is coming. That is all I can say, since there's a lot of people on the call. We are looking at some technology. It is going to happen. And here's the point Maria makes is everything you're doing with your technology that you use, AI is going to come closer to you within your technologies. Clear. Will there be a technology where you speak into your phone? And I'm a big voice computing guy. If you're not using that for ChatGPT voice, you're missing out. You should start talking to it a lot more on your phone. Anyway, so if I met Maria at a Starbucks, why do I need to go into a CRM and add Maria as a contact? Why can't I just talk to it? And add it, and I say, put her on market reports. Here's her birthday. Give me a birthday reminder. All just voice, and it just happens. That stuff will be here before you know it. But every one of you works a little differently, and you all have processes that are slowing you down from revenue generating activities. Look at all the things that are time sucks. I call it time intensive, repetitive tasks, all of those things, and say, okay, you know what? I could use help with AI here because I just don't have the time or the energy to do it. Go tackle that and leave the rest alone. So chip away and get to like I get 35% productivity enhancement within my work because I've ingested AI in almost all aspects of what I do. That's the power of what we're talking about. And as you finish this journey, you never finish. As you continue on this journey, you will be more productive and you will be an AI skilled agent to serve your clients better. Until September 11th, folks. Brian McCurney, that studio interview was in a podcast studio, by the way. Until September 11th, be curious and conquer AI one step at a time. Take care, everybody.